Even the world's highest peak is not safe from the spread of the Wuhan virus. Cases are on the rise at the Everest base camp. And the situation is so alarming that China is drawing lines on the Everest summit, trying to protect its own climbers. Meanwhile, Nepal is appealing to climbers to bring back their oxygen tanks as the Himalayan nation grapples with oxygen shortage. Our next report tells you more.
China has no regard for borders. Over the years, it has unilaterally changed them, following a line suitable only to Beijing. But when it comes to enforcing its own, China will go to any limits, even drawing a separation line on the peak of Mount Everest. Mount Everest straddles the China-Nepal border, with the northern slope falling in Tibet. The border runs across its summit point. The summit itself is a tiny and inhospitable area, almost the size of a small dining table. The peak is a small mound of snow, with barely enough space for a dozen climbers. So, how will China enforce this line? According to state media, it will be with the help of Tibetan guides. They will ascend Mount Everest and set up the line, stopping any contact between mountaineers from both sides. It's still unclear what this line will look like and if the guides will be physically present to enforce it. It is also not known whether they will remain in the death zone, where many lives have been lost due to a dearth of oxygen. But it is not just the summit that lacks oxygen. The Himalayan nation too is running out of it. In fact, it is so short of canisters that it wants Everest climbers to bring back their empties. Everest climbers usually carry oxygen tanks on their climb. They then abandon them during the expedition. They are often discarded during the descent. These cylinders then get buried in avalanches or are found abandoned on the mountain slopes. This year, Nepal issued climbing permits to over 700 climbers, a bid to get the mountaineering industry back up and running. They are estimated to have carried at least 3,500 oxygen bottles, tanks that can be refilled and used for Wuhan virus patients. The plea comes as Nepal's healthcare remains on the brink. Cases are skyrocketing across the nation. Hospitals and clinics remain overwhelmed, and the country's prime minister is pleading for help. Nepal has a shortage of around 25,000 oxygen cylinders. Hospitals are turning patients away. There's not enough oxygen to meet demands, and the shortage is fueling a growing crisis. Many now want the climbing season to end. Others are calling for the empties to be brought back. Urgent pleas are being made to climbers and guides as the Himalayan nation gasps for oxygen. Bureau Report, WION. World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.